I got 6 classes. I don't get tired. I don't get tired. 6 classes. 6th grade. Welcome back. 6 jumps. I don't get tired. Welcome back. Woo! We are almost at the end of the road. 6th grade. I'm so proud of you all. Whether you're with us for this week 7 or not, I am completely proud of you because you've been working up by yourself for the most part. Some of us have DM'd me, DM Ms. Bryant, Ms. Call, Ms. Ryderstad, trying to figure out how to get your work. And we are unbelievably proud of you. Love y'all so much. However, let's go ahead and jump into this text. Okay, for teens, a good mood depends on good sleep. Now, I know for sure some of y'all don't even get good sleep because some of y'all have DM'd me at like 3 o'clock in the morning talking about something. Hey, Miss A, I might get this work, okay? So, for teens, a good mood depends on good sleep. Do y'all ever wake up like grumpy, groggy, okay? We're going to discuss a little bit of that in the text today. So, sleeping less than 8 hours, okay, or more than 10 makes teenagers feel worse the next day, okay? And this is by Meenakshi Prabhu, okay? In 2017. So, of course, before we jump into a text, we always read the background information. So you can either pause the video here or you can, let me show this up a little bit. You can either pause the video here or you are more than welcome to read along with us. So, how many hours of sleep do you get a night? Likely not as much as Andrew Fuligny, finds teenagers should get in his new study. In this informational text, Meenakshi Prabhu discusses how many hours of sleep teenagers should get each night to be at their best the very next day. As you read, take notes on why teenagers may not be getting enough sleep. Okay? We see old girl here is knocked out. All right. I'm going to make this bigger for you guys so y'all can see. Okay. For families with teenagers, school nights may fall into a familiar pattern. Parents urge their kids to go to bed early, but teens would rather stay up late. Checking dry messages, no messages on the gram, but we already know that, right? Okay. It's your 3 followers, but okay. All right. Okay, so, but teens would rather stay up late. Maybe they have homework or want to spend time with friends, or maybe it's just hard to fall asleep. But a new study confirms that adolescents need 8, not 3, not 5, like y'all be getting, right? 8, okay, to 10, 8 to 10, okay, hours of sleep at night to feel their best the next day, okay? So just please keep that in mind. 8 to 10 hours that you need. As kids reach adolescence, they often face increasing workloads and responsibilities, right? Maybe chores or your classes get harder, etc., okay? Or you're having to babysit more and take care of your siblings or blase, right? So, but they are not yet adults. Their bodies and brains are still changing. As a result, their sleep needs are like that of a developing child, okay? Just kind of like babies, like infants, how they have to sleep all the time. That's why in elementary school you have nap time, so on and so forth. Okay? Says Rafael Palaio. He is a sleep doctor at the Stanford Center for Sleep Sciences in Medicine in California. He was not involved in the new study. Let me back this up a little bit. We are on this paragraph here. Okay? Adolescence is sometimes referred to as the perfect storm of problems of sleep, says Palaio. On the one hand, teens need regular sleep to be mentally and physically healthy, but their internal clocks shift during this period. Their bodies want to stay awake later at night, maybe on Instagram or TikTok, whatever, okay? And sleep later in the morning. School still starts early though. As a result, Palaio estimates that 80 to 90% of teens do not get enough sleep. Okay, I think we discussed this in class with some of my 6th graders. I know some of our 8th graders, we discussed this. Do y'all think we should have later start times for school? And a lot of you guys said yes, because by the time you come to school, you're still super sleepy, groggy, maybe homework or your siblings or chores kept you up the night before, so on and so forth. Okay? Pretty awesome. So this missed sleep has consequences, of course. Okay, sleep-deprived kids are more prone to mental and physical illnesses. Sleepy drivers face a heightened risk of car accidents. Okay, imagine falling asleep at the wheel. Okay, and then the top cause of teenage death. Okay, but too much sleep can have its own problems, such as leaving teens with a sour mood upon waking. Okay, have you ever woken up a morning and you're like, man, I'm already not trying to deal with today? That's kind of where this is going, right? Students wake up groggy, attitude, really not trying to do anything, right? So let's look at this number 1 footnote. Oh, let me see it. Okay, but they're internal clocks. So this further gave us a definition for internal clock that we were talking about. And it is a system in the body that controls when a person sleeps, eats, and performs other necessary functions. And then prone, it's a verb, okay? And it means more likely to suffer from something. So an example of this would be if we had a vocabulary quiz and you didn't study, okay, and you weren't there for the notes or something like that, you are more prone to making a lower grade than a 100 just because you weren't ready, you didn't study, blase, blase. Okay? Let's go ahead and move on with this. This is good. This is fun, y'all. I'm really liking this. Okay, so sleep affects mood. Andrew Fuligny, excuse me, let me try to make this a little bit bigger for y'all. Okay, Andrew Fuligny studies the mental health of adolescents at the University of California, Los Angeles. Okay, I like the building. Okay. He wanted to understand which sleep habits help teens feel and perform their best. To find out, his team surveyed 419 students, y'all. Each was between the ages of 13 and 19. Every day for 2 weeks, these volunteers recorded when they fell asleep and woke up. They also rated their moods and feelings the next day, such as their happiness, anxiety, and pain. We're going to go over the meaning of anxiety here in a little bit, okay? Most students reported good moods after a night of 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Too much sleep and too little sleep are both extremes, says Palaio, and both were linked with problems. Within that 8 to 10 hour range, older kids seem to need the least sleep. A 17 or 18-year-old does not need as much sleep as a 14-year-old in order to function on a daily basis, Fuligny said. But he adds, they still need a sizable amount of sleep, right? Okay, just quick break. Clap once if you're with me. Clap twice if you're with me. Clap 3 times if you're with me. Okay. Which one is back to that? I know, it's crazy. Okay, anyway. Here we go. Sleep is a lot like appetite, Palaio says. Just as people eat different amounts of food daily, I know I eat a lot of food daily, okay? Sleep patterns between healthy people also may differ, okay? Let's talk about choosing snoozing. So what does it really mean to snooze? It means to snooze your alarm, like, sis, I'm not trying to wake up today, blah, okay, and then you're running late for school, running late for work, whatever, right? So biologically, kids' bodies shift toward a later schedule during the teenage years. They become more like night owls and less like early risers. Okay, I'm not sure about y'all, but I am in bed asleep by 8:30. Okay, my mom wishes I was like that when I was a kid. Says Fuligny, excuse me. But despite the change in their internal body clocks, school times and other schedules don't change. We have to set up a system that's very difficult for many teenagers and some kids who might be at risk of mental and behavioral health problems, he concludes. One way to help teens get enough sleep is to have school start later. Ooh, did we talk about this? Listen, let me tune y'all in because we definitely talked about this. Some school districts have already done this. they found that the later times let kids sleep more. Excuse me, I'm so excited about this. They also have seen fewer car accidents, higher test scores, and better graduation rates. Because of this, California lawmakers are trying to change school start times in their state. If they succeed, California middle and high schools could start no earlier than 8:30, y'all. 8:30, that's awesome. But until schools change their start times, man, teenagers have to help themselves. Palayo suggests teens sleep for 10 hours each night for a week or two. This will help them figure out how much sleep they need to feel their best. Sleeping more on weekends to make up for missing sleep during the week isn't a good idea, though. Fellini warns that getting different amounts of sleep each night can be bad for your mental health. Okay. Anxiety was the word from earlier. It means a feeling of worry or nervousness. So a feeling of like, oh, I'm not prepared, or oh, I'm about to get in trouble, of worry or nervousness. Okay. Palayo agrees, though. The amount of sleep you get on weekdays and weekends should be the same, he says. We don't starve ourselves of food on weekdays and gorge on the weekends, he points out. We shouldn't do that with sleep either. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do the questions. I hope y'all like that. Please let me know. Let me know what y'all think about the text. However, we're going to go ahead and read these text-dependent questions here at the bottom. If you need this, you're more than welcome to use it. However, if not, you can pause the video to answer the questions. Make sure you email, text, remind your teachers your answers, and you'll be good to go in a grade book. Okay, so part A. Which statement best expresses the central idea of the text? Keep in mind, central idea. Okay. Teenagers require a unique amount of sleep to fully function, which depends on their specific age and the individual demands of their body. B, adults who did not get enough sleep during their teenage years showed slower mental development than those who did get enough sleep. C, teenagers function better during the day if they are allowed to follow their internal clock and sleep as much as they can. Or D, sleeping for 8 to 10 hours a night supports teenagers' mental development and guarantees that teens perform better in school. Okay, feel free to pause the video now to answer this question, and then we can go and move on. Okay. Part B. Now, just as we've seen in the past, these Part A, Part B questions, remember that if you do not have textual evidence, you do not have anything for me, correct? So same vibe here, same energy here. If you chose an answer here, you should be able to find textual evidence that supports your answer best. Okay, here we go. So for Part B, says, which quote from the text best supports, supports, here's us, here's the textual evidence. We don't have textual evidence. I'm like, where are we at? Boom, Miss A, I'm right here, right? Okay, so which quote from the text best supports the answer to Part A? Their bodies want to stay awake later at night and sleep later in the morning. School still starts early, though, in paragraph 3. B, too much sleep and too little sleep are both extremes, says Palayo, and both are linked with problems, paragraph 6. C, even among kids the same age, everyone needed a slightly different amount of sleep to feel good. One reason could be health issues that differ among them, from paragraph 9. Or D, they found that the later times let kids sleep more. They also have seen fewer car accidents, higher test scores, and better graduation rates, from paragraph 13. So feel free to pause the video at this time. Let me know what y'all think. Okay, we're going to continue. Okay, so how does paragraph 13 contribute to the development, of ideas in the text? So A, it shows how easy it is for schools to allow teenagers to sleep longer. B, it emphasizes the positive outcomes of starting school later for teenagers. C, it points out how uncommon it is for teenagers to go to school later in the US. Or D, it explains why many states are hesitant to start school at a later time. Okay, feel free to pause the video now. Okay. Here's number 4. What is the author's main purpose? What is his purpose? So what? So you said all this, so what, right? Excuse me. So what is the author's main purpose in the text? What? Tell me what's going on, right? So A, to argue, like you want to go back and forth, right? To argue that all schools should start later in the day. B, to warn teens about the dangers of staying up late. C, to compare the sleep patterns of teens and adults. Or D, to explore what the right amount of sleep is for teenagers. Alrighty, y'all, that is it for me. Please let me know if there is anything I can do to help. Please, you can DM me your answers, Ms. Bryant, Ms. Ryerstadt, Ms. Cobb, Ms. Clay. Please, please, please send us your answers. Until then, until next time. Love y'all. Y'all take care. Let me know if you need anything.